Reckless talk. Son of a gangster. Hey, reckless talk. But I got expensive habits. Don't step in salt.
Okay, so morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Don here from Kenya Gunners TV, and I'm joined with Kwame. We're basically here to do a predicted 11. Yeah, so that is Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is a home game. The international break is over. Well, the Premier League is back, but I think we didn't play last week because we're in Dubai. So we're going to it right then. So Kwame, in the goalkeeping position, who would you go with? David Raya, Ramsdale, and actually I want you to base this on the game we played versus Liverpool. If you saw Ramsdale's performance in that game.
Me, I'm biased. I still trust Raya. I still trust Raya. Ramsdale makes simple things look complicated, but Raya makes complicated things look simple. So for me, I still trust Raya. I think his composure is infectious to the back line. When Ramsdale is there, because he panics, so he creates more panic around his defense.
Yeah.
So
But
and then I don't. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying one might argue if you look at the game we played versus Liverpool, that was a one-off game. But looking at the way Ramsdale played for that game, he played very okay. I mean, his distribution, but there's really improved. His distribution for that game was so good.
Get this.
Yeah.
But by the time you're playing for Arsenal, you are a world-class player, right?
Yeah.
Now, in my opinion, without just being ice cold, like putting Arsenal first, no names. I'd rather have my first. There are some positions you don't joke around with. There's a reason why Saliba and Gabriel stay there in the defense most of the time. Others would be switching them, putting Tomiyasu, Kiwior, and all that. But why don't we mess with the spine? Because those are key areas, you see. So and I think for the rhythm of the team and all that. So I would have put Ramsdale in a game like Crystal Palace, right? Considering that now we are out of the other FA Cup, right?
Yeah.
And the Carabao Cup. So I'd put Ramsdale for games that we are really like 100% sure we could win. So if it was Crystal Palace and I want to build his confidence, that's what I'd do. But it's sad because you see the idea. Normally, any elite team, the reason why they if they are cup competitions, then the idea would be that for this Carabao and FA and all that, Ramsdale would have been playing. Then for Champions League and the league, Raya plays, because when you keep chopping and changing the goalkeeper, he loses the chemistry of the defense. Because remember, part of the defense is the goalkeeper directing. Because I feel also that's what the confusion is. Because he's supposed to say, because we now know that Kiwior loses concentration. So he needs to be told, don't lose concentration. And then they need to develop a plan until Jurien Timber is back. Everybody needs to support whoever is going to Kiwior or Zinchenko, who's going to play on the left back. So you need somebody solid and experienced at the back. You can't keep chopping and changing a goalkeeper. It never works. So I think the only reason they are keeping him is because, or rather they are trying him to play a few games, is so that he doesn't lose too much value.
He doesn't lose too much value. Because
the idea would have been he plays very well for the cup, so that you can sell him. Because I can bet you, I don't see Ramsdale going past the summer. Because with his mentality, I don't think he's going to accept, because he's going to miss out on the England spot. He doesn't see himself playing on the bench for Arsenal. So it's just because he's one of us. That's why he's being given a chance. And the only way we would have done that is if we were winning the cup games. And you see the idea. I don't blame really Arteta. For me, I feel like we only have 11 very good players. And now that we're halfway through the season, the fatigue is starting to check in. Remember, we have a pressing style. When we dominate, we dominate because we run so many kilometers. Think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Now, with Man City, they have 2 or 3 players to switch up to cover. For
Yeah.
us, we don't have anybody. Nketiah is, for heaven's sake, Nketiah is our best striker.
Hold on, Kwame, we'll get there. Let's now we move away from the goalkeeping position. You go to the next one. Okay, so you go to the right back position. Would you play in the right back position?
Right back, I'd play White.
Yeah, obviously, I think he's the only option available right now. Tomiyasu is not available. So I think the right back position will go with Ben White. Okay, looking at Ben White, I don't know. Ben White must have, for some reason, but this season he's just not been on. There are players who last season were really, really, really on form. The only game that I've seen Ben White
he had a good relationship between Saka and himself.
Yeah.
Like overlapping and all that. But I think this season we've been playing more defensive. Our defense record has been good until just the last few games. So, and you've noticed most of the goals are coming from the left side, not from the right side.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really fault him. The only part we were missing from his game is creating the goals, like overlapping runs and things like that. Those are the things we are missing. But we have also changed our style of play a little bit. We are more conservative. Yeah. So yeah.
Then of course I think without a doubt the centre backs. I think we'll go with the right centre back, Saliba, of course, the left centre back, without a doubt, Gabriel Magalas. So that's not even debate or even going to get into. Then now the left back position, the left back wing, Kivior, because
that one. Zinchenko here is still not, because from the videos for Dubai, we rarely saw Zinchenko. So that means the only healthy left back we have is Kiwior.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I'm saying they should go by. There was that we were scouting somebody from I think Besiktas or Galatasaray. One of those. There was a player we were scouting who's not like very expensive. He's like, I think 17 or 21 million pounds. I feel like that's the person we need to go for, because this position we can't keep patching up. In fact that's the only position that I'm worried about. This other one for scoring, I think we're just like Man City. We are going through a normal rough patch. I suspect once we seal this loophole for where Kiwior is, I think in the summer we can strengthen and then probably get a veteran on loan striker. Just those two.
Yeah,
because we don't have the money to splash and we don't want to buy rubbish. So I feel like the left back is the position that our weakest link, the left back position. That's our weakest link. And you see, when you keep on having to score stupid goals, it affects how we play, because now we are forced to now try so hard to recover, to win. That's how you're seeing even the draws we are having, where we go behind and now we have to struggle to score, and we have like 100 chances and we get just maybe 2 shots that could go in. So that's the part I feel that they because best of I was listening to one of these analysts, and you're saying that they are focusing on the weaknesses. So our weaknesses have been of late getting scored from set pieces. Getting scored from set pieces. And of course our striking. So our defense is really not. In fact, the goals are silly, because even when you look at the goals, it's not because of Gabriel or Saliba's mistake. It's just a brilliant cross from Trent Alexander-Arnold, and then
ball
defending. So those are the two things.
Then we go to the midfielders. The midfield would be your 3 midfielders.
I don't know why. This is just a hunch, because I've seen what Havertz is about. I don't think he's going to bring in that much, although he brings aerial threat and is good at just holding the ball and passing it around. But I feel like I don't know, because I saw a lot of Smith Rowe. I think such a game is a good game to give him a chance.
Yeah, such a game is a good. Yeah. And I agree. In fact, by the for my midfielders, I'll go with Smith Rowe. I'll drop Havertz by the for this game. I'll go with Smith Rowe. Then I'll go with, of course, Declan
Rice.
Rice, and then Odegaard. Those would be my midfielders. Yeah, I think like Havertz. This guy. Anyway, we move on. We move on. Let's go to the forwards. We'll have to discuss later. So now the
So for the
forwards,
forwards, I think
Mhm.
we may just have to go with the usual, but because Gabriel Jesus was hurt, because this game is not that important in the grand scheme of things. I'd play Nketiah, and then I'd have Martinelli and Saka on the wings. Yeah, but just if depending on how they played, I think we are very predictable when it comes to Saka. So because of Reece Nelson proving he could play very well in the last game, I'd reward him, and to surprise them, I'd bench Saka just to start. I'd start Reece Nelson just for confidence sake, because you see the big game you'd want Saka. The big game you'd want Saka. So I'd put Martinelli and what's his name, Reece Nelson,
and then the center forward position,
Nketiah. Yeah, the reason I'm saying Nketiah is because I wouldn't want Gabriel Jesus to get hurt for another 10 games. You see, I'd rather him coming in as an impact player in the last 20 minutes. I'd prefer that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's basically Kwame's predicted 11. Also, Kwame and Don's predicted 11. You guys let us know what you make of your predicted 11. Who you want to see in the backs, in the midfield, and the forwards. So anyway, this game, but they're going to be streaming this game.
Are you secretly hoping that Arsenal can just surprise us with, even if it's one marquee signing, at least for left back? That I'm hoping.
Okay, for the left back position, I'm not really.
Because Zinchenko is full of mistakes. Zinchenko is
full of mistakes, but Takehiro being back after the Asian Cup, that would actually be, a solid. I think for the level position, by the way, we should be okay, because Takehiro is there. Of course, even Zinchenko, but as much as he's not really solid in his defense, but you see in my mind,
if we have a solid left back, then we can play Zinchenko in midfield as an option. Midfield. I don't know how you say that. I don't, because then he doesn't have very much defensive responsibility. He can switch up with Smith Rowe, with Havertz, with himself. Are you seeing that? Yeah. So that now defense, because I feel our defense, because there's a hole, everybody knows where the hole is, and they keep attacking that corner.
Yeah.
You see. So,
okay. For me,
so it affects our shape.
For me, Bade, what I've been really hoping, Bade, for us to to fill up is the striking position. That number 9 position is where, hey man, we need. But
you see, whichever striker we get, it will be somebody on loan.
Yeah.
You see, so even if we get a striker, I don't expect them to spend £100 million now. I don't. So
for me,
that's why I'm saying,
how do you want really, a player like Andre, this Everton guy, what's his name?
Andre Onana.
Yeah, Andre Onana. How do you want such a striker, by the way?
So that we ignore the left back for now, and we just have Onana to support Rice, because Rice is overworked.
That's what I feel like. That's because the strikers we have right now, hey man, Jesus, by the way, is not really performing up to the level we expect him to perform in that center forward position. Right. So I feel like we have guys who are able to like, even if you look at this distribution, that if you look at the creativity of Odegaard, at times he gives Nketiah the ball, Nketiah he cannot just score the headers, the corners.
So I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Because you see that once, as soon as a goal goes in, the mentality of the team changes.
That's the whole thing. The whole thing is just get
But
the
there's no point holding the ball, and
yeah.
we've dominated most games. Dominated, like more possession, holding the ball, controlling the game, no goals. So it becomes useless, and then our players become deflated. Our defenders get tired.
Then I've ever realized one thing, by the way, I think even you've always said it. One of the most dangerous teams, by the to play, when you're open, is Arsenal. The moment by the Arsenal scores, these guys actually want to get the ball back in the net. Our opponents definitely. And what do? They open up. So all we're lacking is just the ball in the net.
Yeah. I think with the resources we have, we can risk and just get that one striker. But of course, that striker is not going to be long term. We need like a Benzema. In fact, that's why we need Benzema, because we need a proven striker who does not necessarily have to be there for the next 2 years, just between now and the end of the season.
Yeah.
So that's I see where your logic is, because Tomiyasu will come back, he can cover. If it's midfield, we have people who can cover. Because the reason why we keep on falling back is because we are not taking our chances. Because once you score, that their shape changes. They have to attack. And when they attack, that's the worst thing you're going to do with Arsenal. You open up.
That's the worst thing.
We cut you open.
Yeah. Anyway, Kwame, but I need to go for my gym session. So let me just wrap this up. Anyway, you guys let us know in the comment section. Let us know who will be a predicted 11 or your preferred 11 for Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Just ensure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll be seeing you on the next one, people.
Yes, bro.
Arsenalia!